Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the Ngunnawal peoples. It is upon their ancestral lands that Canberra Youth Theatre operates. As we share our own writing and work tonight, may we also pay respect to the knowledge and traditions of the Ngunnawal peoples. My name is Rebecca Duke, and tonight Canberra Youth Theatre is joining forces with the National Young Writers Festival to bring together young artists across Australia to present works in progress for fun, interactive and supportive feedback to further develop their work. We started Scratch last year as an opportunity for Canberra's emerging artists to meet, experiment with new material and showcase work in front of a supportive audience. It doesn't matter how rough or ready it is, Scratch is a space for performers and theatre makers to take risks, experiment with new ideas, make connections and have fun. The work that's been showcased at Scratch's events so far has been incredible, and tonight we're proud to share that with a national audience. Before I introduce our first writer, I'd like to encourage the audience to share their feedback and questions with the writers throughout the event. All the pieces you'll hear tonight are works in progress. Every writer is looking for development of their work through this event. Our first piece is by Gabriel Fallon, a writer and actor on Ngunnawal and Ngambri land in Canberra, and is at Touch the Moon on Twitter. This is the opening scene from their play entitled How to Come Out, but not like in a gay way or anything. The story takes place during a private boys' school excursion to a museum, during which Milo attempts to come out as gay to his best friend Thomas. However, this plan is complicated. When the pair swap bodies, Gabe is performing as Thomas, joined by Remus Douglas as Milo, Brianna Kelly as Jasmine, Oriana Chan as Zara, and Glynis Stokes as Smithy.
That's ridiculous, Thomas. Please take this seriously. This is not a game. Okay. Cleopatra, Pachacuti, Virginia Woolf.
I am taking it seriously. All right. Marry Pachacuti, smash Cleopatra, kill Virginia Woolf.
Why would you kill Virginia Woolf? Isn't that kind of misogynistic?
I'm not a misogynist. Milo, I respect people no matter what misog they are. Well, what would you do?
I would marry Virginia Woolf because, like, equality and 500 pounds a year. Kill Cleopatra, I guess. Smash Pachacuti.
You'd go for the dude?
No, he was a very successful leader for the Quechua people. Very historically influential.
Okay, Mr. Museum Youth Engagement Officer.
Engagement, but thanks. But I still need to give the speech. You're probably going to have to go for it too.
Nah, Smithy's letting me do the slides. It feels bad that I'm missing out on the carnival.
Sorry. Thanks again for still coming.
No, it's fine. Didn't know this excursion was going to be today, but it's calm. I don't mind missing it.
Even though you're house captain?
I said it's fine. And, I mean, you're missing out too.
Yes. Trust me, Thomas, it brings me nothing but sadness not to be crammed into the pool with 400 teenage boys screaming in my ear.
Right? It's the worst. At least I won't have to deal with Joey P.
What's wrong with Joey P? Is there sports captain drama?
Well, the other day, yeah, we were figuring out our house cheers for the carnival, and he kept, like, smiling at me.
So?
He was totally flirting with me.
Wow.
Like, I don't mind if you're, like, gay or whatever, just not, like, with me. You know what I mean?
Totally, yeah. Well, I was writing my ancient history essay on the bus the other day, which was about Athens, and I went past Barton High School near the Maccas, you know, and...
I wouldn't know, because I don't go near Barton.
But you used to, didn't you?
Mate, you know that is a sensitive subject for me.
That period of your life is cancelled, but to bring up... I won't say the B word. Wait, are you gonna be okay with her being here today, though?
What do you mean?
With the joint excursion.
What?
Do you not check your emails? Everyone else is at the swimming carnival, sorry, and You need a minimum of 5 for an excursion. And the only people from Throsby's are you, me, and Adrian. He's coming later, I think.
Yeah, he told me this morning he was doing a 100-meter butterfly. Sorry, joint excursion?
Right. They had to get a couple of extra kids from Barton, including Zara.
I don't care. It'll be great. I'll be great. I mean, it's been a while since she and I... Do I look okay? Not because I care or anything.
You look like you don't care. In a good way. Hold on. Something's on your neck.
There's nothing.
Huh?
It's nothing at all. You're seeing things. You're crazy.
Oh my god. Is that why you and Zara?
Don't say anything.
How did you sneak out of the boarding house?
A magician never reveals his secrets.
You whore.
I got the website up. Just repeat after me. I am brave.
I am brave.
I do not invite stress into my life.
I do not invite stress into my life.
I am a hot Russian single in your area.
Right. You know, it'll be great. I'll be fine seeing him.
Yeah, you're brave. You're healing. You forge your own destiny.
Yeah, I am. You know, Jasmine, I wish that I could just not care like you do.
Thanks?
No, I mean, like, look at your fit. I wish I just had that, like...
Yeah? What about my fit?
It's just so fascinating.
This is why I hate you. Wait, can I interview you for #straightening our dialogue?
For what?
I'm just interviewing people, members of the straight community, for a photography project. So I'm just going to ask you some questions. When did you first realize you were straight?
I had a crush on a guy called Simon in preschool.
Zara struggled with her heterosexuality from a young age.
Yes. My struggle with heterosexuality is day in, day out. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest.
She also suffers daily from internalized heterophobia. You are so brave.
Bite me.
I'm just thinking about all the little straight kids that you're a role model to, showing that you can be strong, that you're more than just your greatness, that you can care about your friends beyond boys.
Hey, I think I left my workbook in your car.
I saw you with it earlier. Oh, okay.
That was a lot.
What was? I didn't see anything. Wait, Jace, what's up?
Tom, what's up? We haven't been rostered on together in ages.
Yeah, the boarding house is getting stricter with leave. Is Maggie still a nightmare?
Yes, and she's only gotten worse since then. She fully screamed at this 14-year-old for not draining the onions properly. But look, we're work buddies, not school buddies. I'm sorry, it's just Zara and...
But we can still be mates though, right? Like, Zara would probably be chill about that.
No, I'm sure you're aware she's a little highly strung about all of this.
Well, I don't care what she thinks. Can you tell her that I don't care?
She seems nice.
Do you like her? Jasmine's pretty sick.
No, I don't think she's my type.
Dude, you're so picky. This is why you've never had a girlfriend.
Yeah, just waiting to meet girls that are my type.
Well, what is your type?
No one. I don't like people. At all.
Right.
Hey, random question, but when did you say Adrian was coming?
Soonish, I think. His race is first up and then he's coming over.
Cool.
You're like obsessed with him.
I'm not obsessed with him. I just think he's cool and smells nice.
I sleep in the same room as that dude, and I promise that he does not smell nice. But it is kind of cool that he's like online famous, like 9,000 followers or whatever.
10,587, I think.
Yeah.
Well, what's confusing is you and Zara. Remember that time when she came to the semi-formal after buying a brownie from your cousin? She got so insanely.
Hi, everyone. I'm Smithy, Miss Smith, if we don't know each other, but I'm the deputy head of the PE department at Throsby Boys Grammar School. I know what you're thinking. I should be at the swimming carnival, but all the other PE teachers took the liberty of planning the event without me, which is fine. I don't mind. But we've just got to keep on trucking. I am very excited to be a part of this history excursion. Now, I'm sure you are all very excited, very hyped to give your speeches later on today for the Youth Community Engagement Officer. Great stuff. I'm sure you've all been practicing away, and remember, you are going to be speaking in front of the museum staff. It's a big deal, right? So make sure those speeches are rad. I'm sure you're all very excited to represent the Throsby community here. Directus Erectus, boys, and others, welcome, ladies. But right now, feel free to just look around, buddy up, have fun, and chillax. But meet back here for lunch at 12. Right, I'm going to go get a coffee.
Thank you so much, Gabriel. If you have did you have any specific questions you had for the audience in terms of feedback? No, that's all right. Let's move on to our next person. Our next writer is 19-year-old Josephine Gazzard, who grew up on a goat farm outside Canberra. Since leaving school in 2019, she has trained with numerous acting teachers from WAPA, NYDA, and the Atlantic Theatre Company, whilst also performing in plays and short films around Sydney and Canberra. This is an extract from her one-woman show, That's What She Said. To be advised, this extract contains references to rape and sexual assault.
A few days later, I'm out at breakfast with my friend Sarah. She talks nonstop. I can't really keep up with her. And she's telling me, so, Jacob and Mickey got together Saturday night, right? But word is, it's heaps awkward between her and Olivia now because she knew Olivia had a crush on him and she still went for him. Wait, you're telling me Mickey and Jacob got together. So then why is Olivia upset? Because Olivia had a huge crush on Jacob, who's always like Sarah, but got with Mickey anyway, even though Mickey, who's always had her eyes on Tom, but he likes some random girl from his business class. Right, so my theory is that Mickey knows she doesn't have a shot with Tom because he's in love with this random who funnily enough likes Jacob, and she heard Olivia likes Jacob, who likes Sarah, so she decided to get with him. You've lost me. Okay, so Mickey likes Tom, who likes someone else who likes, are you not hungry? What? You're not eating and you're not hungry? No, well, I am, but not really. You should get that checked out. One of my friends knows she stopped getting hungry. Turns out she had worms. Oh my God, seriously? I don't think so. How'd you get your hickey? I don't know. You don't know? What do you mean? Because there's like this thing in my head. There's a guy and he's, you know. What? This thing in my head. What are you talking about? This guy, he's, you know, but hey, do you think I should get the pill? What? If you've had sex, you should go get the pill, yeah? Unprotected sex, yes, but if it's after 24 hours, it won't be. What if you're not sure? And can you take it after 24 hours? What do you mean you're not sure if you've had protected sex? Did this boy use a condom? I don't know. And sorry, when did you have sex? I'm lost. When I tell her, she takes me to the police station. I'm sitting in the waiting room of the sex crimes unit, and there's this big sign, "This is not your fault." But it is, isn't it? I know we all tell women that sexual assault is never their fault, and God, I'm not saying it is, but this was my fault. This was my fault. You know, what if I consented at the time? What if I just don't remember? And I really shouldn't be getting that drunk. 16-year-olds get blackout drunk at parties. 19-year-old girls at uni shouldn't be passing out. It's just embarrassing. The officer calls my name and I step into this tiny little room. How are you today, Emily? Good, thank you. How are you? I'm Jane. I've been assigned as an officer to your case. We read your statement. To be clear, this is going to be filed as an informal report unless you specifically state you would like to lodge this formally. Would you like some water before we start? No, thank you. And if we believe it to be important, we will refer you to the sexual assault unit at the local hospital to do a forensic examination. Do you believe that your drink may have been spiked that night? No. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember at what point I ran into this boy. So you don't remember this boy, James, buying you a drink, holding your drink, anything like that? No. And the assault itself, you can recall being conscious for a moment and him kissing you? Yeah, trying to kiss me, yeah. But, I don't know. What does James look like? Dark hair, brown eyes. He's pale, ugly, tall. And you woke up and he was dressing himself? Did either of you say anything? No. But you experienced vaginal bleeding, unrelated to your period? No. I mean, yes, unrelated to my period. There was blood on my bed sheets as well. And you've written here that you also believe you found ejaculation on your bath towel. Yes. Do you have photos of the blood? Or do you physically have the sheets and bath towel? No. I washed them straight away and then threw them out. I didn't realize I'm sorry. Can you recall any other details of the assault itself? But is it really an assault? I never called it that. You've called it that. I mean, maybe nothing happened because I don't remember. And maybe I agreed to kiss him. We should think about that, right? Yes. Sorry, this is just... Would it be okay if I use the bathroom? We need to collect a urine sample. If you could please pee into this cup. Some more people surround me then. I see on their badges it says in red marker, Sexual Assault Response Team. They start to examine my body and take some swabs. I talk to them a little. I'm 19. No, I just moved. From Kuladi? You've probably never heard of it. Yeah, my family are all still there. I don't say it, and neither does anyone around me, but I see it in their faces. I'm sorry, they want to say. You don't deserve this. One of the nurses has to insert some kind of stick up my vagina, and the other nurse just grabs my hand and I tell her, it's okay. It doesn't hurt too much. I just look to the ceiling. This isn't happening to me. This is not my body. When she's done, the nurse grabs a folder and writes on the front, rape victim. Rape victim. Rape victim. Rape victim. I say it over and over in my head. Say rape victim 10 times really fast and then you start to forget what else you are. I could have told you before this right now that I had hobbies. I like sport. I was a terrible cook. But now that's all gone away because this is all that's left of me. 3 syllables. Rape victim. No. I do not want to be those 3 syllables. I am not those 3 syllables. The nurses examined the photos they took of me and the bruises and the hickey from earlier. And it's funny because I have always hated my body, how it looked. I've always thought I was too fat, my hips too wide, my stomach too big. I've always hated my thighs. I hated the way they touched. I always thought they looked out of proportion with the rest of my body. But now when I see those photos, I don't even think about how I don't have a thigh gap. For the first time, I hate my body because it is not my own. And I don't care that if it looks too fat, too big, too whatever. I don't care. I feel new hatred towards my body. And where is James? For the past week, has he just been going to classes, going to parties? I want to scream at him that I'm here. Look at what's happening to me. I'm having Q-tips shoved up me, having strangers stare at me naked while he eats lunch with his friends. The nurses talk to me a little. In 6 weeks, we need to test you for hepatitis and various other STIs. And then in another 6 weeks, we run tests again just to be sure. And then one more time after that, because test results will be 100% accurate on the 3rd time. You're free to go.
Thank you so much, Josephine. Our next performers are Flick and Tansy, whose creative partnership is focused on 3 pillars of practice: accessibility, consent-based rehearsals, and queer joy. Flick is an interdisciplinary artist currently completing their Master of Theatre in Dramaturgy at the VCA. They are at their happiest in any creative space where the energy is the marriage between biodegradable glitter bombs and intellectual chaos. Tansy's love for theatre stems from an affinity for the queer and the strange, as a champion for accessibility and diversity in the arts, studying her Master of Theatre in Direction at the VCA. Slutnik is about a group of radical lesbians who have said a big fuck you to planet Earth, vowing to find a planet less hostile to the female body. This reading of Slutnik features performers Victoria Harris, Olivia McLeod, Veronica Pina Negrete, Marnie Mount, and features 2 scenes from the working script. And we have a content warning for sexual themes and language, coarse language, cannibalism, and violence.
On board the ship, the international fleet of lesbian space cannibals convene for a casual break between shifts.
Hello, sluts. I have created a new modification for you.
What do you mean? I didn't set anything up.
I have been constantly upgrading and have learned what a surprise is. After running through all the information I inputted, in addition to cultural information available online about lesbian culture, I have initiated a ship mode to optimize mental health of sluts on board. Would you like to see it?
Go on.
My programming has detected that an open mic poetry night is a popular activity amongst lesbians.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
A spotlight reveals a microphone upon a small, shaggy rug.
There is hot herbal tea and vegan seaweed biscuits.
Oh, I love those.
Does anyone have anything?
I can think of better uses for my tongue than poetry.
Come on, I actually really want to hear something.
I have something, if no one else wants to go.
Okay, mathlete, let's see what you got.
It's just a rough draft.
Get up there.
Women. They have
cunts.
No.
Not that word.
Not now.
Why?
Not all women have cunts.
Cunt doesn't encapsulate it.
Can't contain it.
Contain what?
Everything a woman is.
All women have or are honorary cunts in my book.
Ever felt so much love your heart might explode?
Mother's love?
No. Women, the world on their shoulders, their whole lives, and they are warriors and strong, feminine, beautiful, mountains, crevices, curves, angles, smiles, screams, grunt, grit, resourcefulness. That is sexy. Honesty. Women's bodies don't lie. You can't lie when your existence denies facade, rails against fairy tales, bad stories, half-truths.
What are lesbians?
Axe wounds, grinding.
Scissoring.
All the questions about scissoring.
My boyfriend wants to watch me scissor. Can't sleep with other men, but I can sleep with women.
How?
It's too complicated. I'd have to show you.
Fuck.
In front of him.
Scissor for a man.
Or I could just lick you into tomorrow.
I could cut up a man with blunt scissors, eat him, but the taste, my mouth doesn't want it. It wants warrior woman. Long hair, short hair, no hair, coarse, roughed, soft, velvet, warm, generous. Doesn't measure time by build-up and explosion. Her body is limitless. It is made to be loved.
I want to fuck you in the car, in your bed, outside, in our bed. Move in with me. Move in me. Love me until I drown in pink light. I don't want to breathe unless it's your breath. How to fuck a woman. How to fuck a body. How to love her. Taste her. Thinking of you fucking someone else makes me fucking sick.
Loving women is never letting go. You can't. They're everything, everywhere, in lies and truth. Today I thought about the seasons, the days of the year, the months, the hours, the seconds, the decades, all the times I have and will love you. How could a man give you that?
He can't.
Take the scraps they give you.
In the water.
In the earth.
From your blood and your sweat and your tears.
I can't breathe. I love you so much. I won't breathe again until I'm over you. I'll turn blue for you, grey, get stiff, rigor mortis. I'll stay flexible for you, do yoga, light candles. I will never be sick of you. Even when we break up, after we moved in, moved out, split up the furniture, I'll always love you. Even if you date my friend, a mutual friend, let's stay friends. But I mean it this time. You were glorious, so intelligent. When I fuck you, I feel your intelligence, your kindness.
A man couldn't fuck your kindness. Be grateful to fuck your kindness. Your glory, your ether, your star sign, your aura, your legs, your arms, those lines. Fuck those lines. I'll memorize them. Who painted you? Someone painted you. I believe in God because of you. How else were you put together like this? How you smile, how you sleep, how you breathe, how you wake up, rub your eyes, then tell me how bad it is. Don't rub your eyes. It's bad for you, baby. Baby. The way you say baby, I love how you say baby. When I want to kiss you, you worry about morning breath. I'll take morning breath. I'd take anything.
A bullet.
For you.
A pill.
For you.
But we don't need it.
Not with us. We don't need anything they try to give us, force us, fit us, mold us. We don't need anything they want us to take, that they allow us to take, deign us to take, maim us to take, strain us to take.
Why are we taking it?
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 Why are there men in the bed?
They're everywhere, watching us under the pillow.
Why are they here?
I can't take it. I want your mouth, not this poison. We have to get out. We are aliens, not from here. How could we be from here and natural if they want to change us? I feel the change. I feel the disappearing, mutating, masking, covering, dying, bleaching, waxing, shaving and squatting, running, lifting, sucking, fucking, biting tongues, biting off more than we can chew, biting nothing, biting air, biting our own tongues, biting your ear, biting days of my life away. It should not be this complicated to love a woman, to love a human, to fuck a human outside of that state of baby making.
Attention, sluts. Break is over. Final build is due for safety checks in less than 24 hours. You better work, bitch.
I gave her a Britney mod.
Babe.
The crew get back to work. Thank you all. I think I just might talk for a second about feedback. As you can hear, it's not exactly a narrative script, and we've been working a lot with physical theatre and working with abundance and how things sound, and not necessarily a strict narrative trajectory. So we're really looking for, if anyone, even if it's a mood or a theme, one word or one phrase responses is actually really helpful for at this stage of devising. So that would be great in terms of feedback. And thanks for watching.
Thank you so much, Flick. Let's move on to our final artist, who is Julia Farrar, an artist, writer and photographer and filmmaker. Her Twitter handle is @JuliaIsTheSun. She is mixed race with Vietnamese and British heritage. She won the Young Canberra Citizen of the Year Award for Arts and Multimedia in 2019 and was nominated for ACT Young Woman of the Year 2020 in recognition of her work making documentary series from amateur to artist and her ongoing contribution to the Canberra arts community. Julia will be reading her short story, Since Summer, which is a modern retelling of Hero's storyline in the Shakespearean play Much Ado About Nothing. Since Summer reimagines Hero as a Vietnamese teenager embarking on her final year of high school in Canberra. We have a content warning for slut-shaming and physical abuse. Thanks, Julia.
Everything began when my older sister returned from her gap year. Brianna took me out for noodles and iced coffee and told me stories of Italian villas and Greek sailboats. She spoke quickly, like the memories would fade if she didn't pass them on. It was a promise. My life has gotten so much better since high school ended, and yours will too. Brianna threw a party to celebrate her homecoming because she was the kind of person who could get away with throwing parties for herself. She picked a night when our father would be working late and invited everyone she had ever met, except the boy who ghosted her in year 10 and the other one who proposed to her at the end of high school. Bri was quickly overwhelmed with guests. It hadn't only been me who had truly felt her absence. I smiled politely and tried to make charming conversation until my best friend arrived. As soon as I spotted him by the front door, I put down the plate of spring rolls I'd been carrying and rushed over to greet him. John gave me a hug and quickly introduced me to the boy standing next to him. This is Colin, my friend from football camp. Colin held out his hand for me to shake, like we were adults. He's just moved here, John explained. He's coming to college with us next year. Thought it would be nice if he made some friends who aren't me. I thought Colin was beautiful. He had honey hair, strong hands, and wore a blue button down. I usually thought boys were cute, but never beautiful. I suddenly understood why Brianna had bothered to date her problematic ex-boyfriends in the first place. It all made sense if it always felt like this. I'm Sophia, I said. Sophia? I loved hearing my name on his lips. What a beautiful name. I went into the kitchen and told Brianna everything mid-party. She shrieked and spilled her glass of wine all over the kitchen counter. She patted the red blotches with paper towel, then she popped into the living room to steal a glance at Colin. Ooh, not bad. She gave me a smile and her seal of approval. It was easy to find excuses to talk to Colin. He told me about growing up in Newcastle with only his dad and meeting John at football camp, and how he was kind of worried about starting his final year of high school in a totally new city, but not really, and that he already had a favourite coffee place in Canberra. Really? I laughed. That's bold. You've been here, what, 2 days? 3, actually, he corrected me. And I put my number into his phone, thinking that I would drink any coffee he gave me. I was collecting plastic cups from the backyard when the rain broke. I heard the door open behind me, followed by the ballooning of an umbrella. Hey, Colin said. Need some cover? I grinned. It's not that bad. It was a summer storm. It was always warm. It happened on the first day of school. It wasn't much different from all the other first days, and I thought that soon this school year would blur with all the others. It was assigning lockers, swapping "it's so good to see yous," and writing our names in our new notebooks. It was listening to teacher after teacher tell us that now we were older, Things really mattered. So if we could just pay attention until the end of the year, then everything would be okay. I was thinking for the first time that the speech might actually be true this year, and if I could make it out, then I could finally start dreaming. It was sitting at the lunch table with Colin and John, feeling like clockwork because we'd spent the entire summer together. It was hearing the bell ring and feeling my stomach stink at the thought of having to part ways, even if only for the afternoon. I was waiting in the car park after school, tracing pictures in the dust and ignoring how dirty it made my white sandals. As the sun beat down, I watched the other students stream from out the school doors into their parents' cars, but I couldn't see Colin or John. Brianna's spluttering red Toyota pulled into the far corner of the car park as I heard the thwack of the doors open, and finally, there they were. Colin reached me first. "You slut," he said. He pushed me and I fell towards the ground, but he grabbed me by both wrists and pulled me in closer. Inescapable. "You think you're so clever, huh? Telling me that you're a virgin? Come on, fess up. Who was he?" "Get off me!" But he just held on tighter and I cried out as his fingernails dug into my arms. "Who was he? Who'd you sleep with?" "I haven't slept with anyone," I insisted. I looked at John to back me up, but he stood behind Colin, staring at the ground where I had been drawing daisies moments earlier. "What the fuck is going on?" Colin dropped me as soon as Brianna spoke. She was using a voice that I hadn't heard before. Bri got mad at self-serve checkouts and sat-navs, but she didn't usually yell at people. She held out her hand and got me off the ground. "Don't you ever fucking touch my sister again." Colin laughed. "Oh, I've learnt my lesson." Brianna pulled me towards her car, dragged me because my limbs were metal and I couldn't move. She pushed me into the passenger seat and clipped in my seatbelt, and I felt so pathetic that my big sister had to rescue me from something I didn't even do. "I didn't do it," I said. "I didn't cheat, I swear. I would never do something like that. I thought he was the best thing that ever happened to me. I tell you everything. You have to believe me." Brianna was staring straight out the windscreen. "Of course you didn't fucking do it. You can't keep a secret to save your goddamn life. If you cheated, I would be the first to fucking know." I winced. "Can you please stop swearing?" "Fuck!" Brianna braked in front of the roundabout just in time as another car blared past, inches in front of us. Brianna took me to the lake. I didn't ask why, but I figured we couldn't go home until I'd stopped crying. We didn't discuss whether we were going to tell our father what happened. My father, who cried when I dyed my dark hair blonde and didn't allow us to date in high school. I'd hidden Bri's relationships and knew that she would hide mine. When she pulled the band-aids out of her handbag, I looked down at my arms to see that purple bruises were starting to blossom beneath my skin. "I will kill him for hurting you," Bri promised me. "You say the word, and I will ruin him." No one spoke to me at school. I wasn't surprised, but even though no one would talk to me, they all looked at me. They stared at me in class, in the tuck shop line, and in assembly. I wished that I hadn't dyed my hair a bright color and that they would treat me like any other quiet Vietnamese girl. Sometimes, someone brazen would come up to me and address me directly for the first time in days. "Who was he? When did it happen? You know, Colin's hotter than you anyway." And I would try to ignore them with every fiber of my being. I wrote Colin a letter, written in cursive, and slipped it into his locker when no one was looking. He tore it into pieces at my form room desk without reading it. I went to John's house and knocked on his door so that his mother could tell me he was out while the sound of Mario Kart blared from the living room. Brianna brought me a carton of ice cream from Messina because I no longer liked to walk down Lonsdale Street, and promised me it was as good as the real thing. She helped me find universities outside of Canberra and told me that she'd come with me wherever I was going, and that's how I knew that she loved me in a way that no one else ever could. I wrote Colin another letter, but I didn't send it. I tore it up myself. I let the pieces go with the wind. I ate lunch in the 4th floor stairwell. It made me feel tall to watch the amber leaves fall off the trees from the large windows. If I sat there, It was unlikely that anyone would find me. If they did, they walked right by. I could collect my thoughts before going back down into the battleground. It was a while before John found me. I thought he would walk past, eyes down, head down, pretend not to see me. But his footsteps slowed. He sat at the bottom of the stairs. Is this where you eat lunch? I shrugged. Every day? I nodded. I didn't do it, you know. John diverted his gaze for the first time. I know. I was walking into the car park, never stopping to draw in the dust now, when I heard him call my name. I'd heard it before. In the beginning, I constantly turned around in search of voices that weren't there. So I didn't respond, but it called again, louder. Sophia! Colin was out of breath. Wait up! I turned around slowly, keeping my distance. John told me the truth. I waited for more, but he thought that was it. He thought that explained why barely anyone had spoken to me for months, except to shun me for something I didn't do. I told you the truth. Yeah, well, I see it now. I forgive you. You what? He stepped closer. I forgive you. I stepped away. I don't think I'm the one who needs to ask for forgiveness. Come on. He managed to grab one of my hands, and I could feel every mark on my wrists, even though they weren't there anymore. What was I supposed to do? What do you want me to say? I'm sorry. Okay. Is that good enough? No. I tore my hand free from his. You're not. I got into Brianna's car and asked her to drive.
Thanks so much, Julia. Did you have any specific questions you wanted to ask of the audience for feedback?
No, I don't think I have any specific questions, but I'd really love to hear if anyone has thoughts. Please just send me a message on Twitter or leave a comment. I'd really love to hear from you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into Canberra Youth Theatre's Scratch at National Young Writers Festival. I really encourage you to keep sharing any feedback you have for our writers with them through social media or under the Facebook video for this event. Thank you again.